Evening, Bobby. How are we?
Good evening. How are you doing, Paul? All right.
Hold on a second. I've got some feedback. Just bear with me.
Have you
I've
got
got
it?
feedback. I've got it. I'm off.
Yeah.
I'm
How you
good.
doing, Paul?
Oh, I'm doing better now.
Happy July. It's the 1st of July.
It is, isn't it?
And
Bloody hate it.
we've got a few in already, look. Well, you have. More than me.
Hello, Tom. How are you? Hello.
Yes. GRJ.
Talking
Kelsey.
about ELO, they used to come into a pub of mine in Eden in Yorkshire.
Did they?
Yeah, ELO. They never played for us, but they came in. Anyway,
I'll tell you a fact about ELO. They got the name from a Yorkshireman. Yellow.
Yeah, they did, because they were Yorkshiremen anyway. So, GRJ, evening. Kelslow, hi. Tom, good evening. What's that? Oh, yeah. Queen Jake, hi. Seems I've only just spoken to you, but there you go.
The real your night, mate. Good man. Now then, GRJ has put something straight in chat.
He has, Fred Dibner.
And he's got his facts wrong. He says he's a Yorkshire legend. He was actually a Lancashire lad.
Wasn't he? Yeah, I thought he was.
From where was he?
It'll come to me.
Not Bolton, the other one.
Yeah, Shito.
Mainly Burnley, I think. Aye. In fact, he's an interesting fella.
He is, yeah. He is. Clary, good evening.
I'll tell you what we'll do, folks, if we can, if Paul's up to it. We'll set it up so me and Paul will do a reaction video, watch him bring a chimney down, and we'll tell you what we think of it. What do you reckon, Paul?
I don't know about that.
Don't you?
No, I don't.
I think it's great. He goes right back to the 70s when
he does. You know, he's a cracking guy. He really is a crack. I like watching him.
He's gone now.
Yeah, but he's still on yesterday.
Oh, yes. You know, his videos are still up. Right?
Yeah, he's still there. Anyway, so I'm a Derby lad. That's nice, Derby. I like Derby.
Oh, he likes somewhere other than Yorkshire then.
No, I like Derby. I used to have a pub just outside Derby, and I used to live in Tipshelf, which is not far from Derby. So, yeah.
Thank you, Clary. We're good, thanks. Yeah. I have an interest in fact, you know something. My mate once had me on. He'd got a new girlfriend. This is a few years ago.
Okay.
And he says, meet her. So I says, hello, love. My mate's a lot younger than me. He's only in his 40s. And he says, are you all right, love? She says, yeah. And he says, do you know who his granddad was? I says, who? Fred Dibner. I says, no. Right. Anyway, she says, I'm going to have to go early. I says, why? Have you got a chimney to bring down it morning? She didn't find it funny.
No, well, I would.
There you go. Look, Fred Dibner, born in Bolton, 1938.
Yeah.
That's the year before my dad was born. No, it wasn't. Year before my mum was born. She was born in 1931. A war baby.
Evening Spikey speaks out. You know, I've just learned to scroll down me chat. I wondered why I wasn't getting anybody in my chat, and it's because I was stuck at the stop.
Oh, right. Stopped at top.
Stuck at top at ladder. Anyway.
Sharon.
You don't have to apologise, GRJ, because I make loads of stupid mistakes. And I'm not saying yours was stupid. I'm just saying I make them. Loads of.
Hi, Si Bennett. I hope you're well, mate. We've got a few regulars now, Paul.
We have, haven't we? I'm still going to the bottom of me this Si Bennett. Hi, good evening. I don't think I've mentioned you. Sharon, good evening. Boris
Shallow. I can't see it.
What's that? Is that Shallow Grave? Yeah, there you go. He has a shallow grave. If he has,
he's not a relative of Boris Karloff's, is he?
No.
Better than being a relative of Johnson.
Yeah, well, you beat me to it there.
That picture behind you, bring these lovely pictures on. Yeah, see, it's a seaside picture with some kind of tramway.
Oh yes, somebody mentioned it last week in the chat, didn't they?
Right.
Can you remember where they said, "Have you been down the I can't call it vernacular railway Scarborough.
Right.
Oh, that's
All
it.
right. Is that it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. As far as I can remember, that's it. I
Yeah.
might have got it right, but there.
It's takes you up to the top, and you come out where that big hotel is, don't you?
You do, yeah. Yeah, you do.
Is it what's it called? I forget. Grand Hotel, is it?
Yeah, I can't remember, Bobby. Tell you,
Yeah.
I'm not into. I'm not into. Chegs is fine, lazy days. By the way, I've just spoken to his mother, and he's okay. And I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks.
Spikey speaks out's got a beer. Enjoy, mate.
Yeah. Enjoy. Are the
Yeah.
photos all of Bibi? Yes, those photos you can see are all one place.
Go on then. Explain the other.
What other?
Background
The
room.
ones in the background, the big
Uh-huh.
ones. Do you not know where it is?
Bridgerton.
Yeah,
Bridgerton.
that's where Bridgerton was filmed.
Yes, that's what I meant.
And Brideshead Revisited was filmed there as well.
I'm trying to think where it is.
And it begins with a C.
You're gonna make me look daft now because I can't think of the name of it.
It's a bit like I'm trying to think of a clue without telling you the bloody name. Anyway,
Go on, tell its name.
It's just gone straight out my head, Bobby. Sorry. It's Castle Howard.
Castle Howard.
There you go.
I think we all went there when we were kids.
Oh, I've been a few times. Castle Howard. It's a lovely joint.
I went there as a kid with my mum and dad. It's a beautiful building, big, huge building.
It is, yeah. But this one at the bottom where it's got the Brideshead Revisited photo, if you look
Right.
where he's got where the teddy bear is.
Yeah.
And it's sat on his knee. I can't remember who he is. But if you look at the top picture, you can see where he was sat. Because it's it's a fountain right in the middle at the top picture.
Right. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Can you make it out?
Yeah. When you look at the top dome of the one at the top, you can picture it. Yeah, because you can't see dome on that one. So
it's no good me pointing to the top picture because you can't see me pointing, can you? But that's what it is. Now, a little bit later on, we've got. I've got a little bit of a.
Let me just say, Paul, before we go any further, you might have to get bat out. Someone's bored already.
Bat's out, mate. I can tell you now. I've just noticed that one.
If we're bored, you best go.
Andrew, why don't you just piss off? Go somewhere you liked. Because you aren't liked on here.
I said it nice way.
Yeah, Bobby's nice. I'm not a nice guy, so piss off and goes elsewhere. All right. Because
don't take it to heart. He's like that with me as well, than us.
I am as well. But here it is. It's there.
In case it's there.
Yeah. So anyway, like I was saying, Bobby, I've got Bibi. I put the divvy stick already on. So where was I, Bobby? What was I saying?
You were going to say something, weren't you?
Oh, I was. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, I noticed you did a live on Friday.
Right.
And I didn't get onto it till really, really late.
You came in last minute, I
did, yeah, and I'll tell you why. It's because even though I've got a little bell on, on the whatever you call it, the channel. So I've got a bell.
Yeah,
I don't seem to get anything to say, oh, by the way, this bloke's live.
Yeah, well, we all push that notification bell, and the amount of people who say it don't work.
Yeah.
It's useless.
Yeah, it is because I'm telling the lie now because I don't get it when you go live. I get it the next day saying, "Oh, he was live 5 hours ago." And
it's something they need to look at.
Yeah. Anyway, so unlike a lot of people, I don't sit on here trolling YouTube to see who's fucking live. I don't care.
Just a minute. Someone's
sorry, I spoke.
Queen check. Just check your settings. GC.
I have checked my settings.
Do you know what that's all about?
Has Bobby seen your bell? No, he hasn't, Andrew. So piss off and ask a decent question. Noxie, I've set all my notifications to go.
Yeah, it's never worked really for me, but I tend to do it automatically.
Let's get back to on your Friday thing.
That's right. Aye.
Yeah, your Friday live thing. You mentioned to someone. I don't know if it was Friday now. Anyway, you
Friday
mentioned
afternoon, I think it was.
Yeah, it was. You mentioned something about Paul might be able to put together
some kind of quiz.
Some kind of quiz. There you go. You see, you're on it. You've started getting this vibes down the bloody line, isn't it? It's good. I love it. Anyway,
yeah, well, we'll have to do that. I think I've
done it. I've got one ready.
Oh, there we go.
I've got one ready for tonight. Okay.
He's on the ball.
And Bobby hasn't seen it, so it's no good twisting Bobby's arm to say, "Give me a clue."
I'm there with you in chat for this. I don't know what he's going to come up with. None of us do. Could be out. Could be out.
Let's see yours. No second thoughts. What's that? Let's see yours. No second thoughts.
Let's see yours. No second thoughts. He must be talking to somebody.
He's talking to me, I'm sure.
I miss Scotch egg.
Hi, Minnie. Minnie.
Oh, is it Minnie? I put Miss. I said Miss.
No, it's Mini Scotch egg.
Mini Scotch egg. How are we doing?
So we've got them all in, haven't we? Really?
Yeah, we've got a few people asking us to do stuff on famous Yorkshire folk.
Well,
Jeff Boycott being another.
There's two of us sat here. We're doing it every Monday night. Two famous Yorkshire guys.
You might know this, I might not know it, but two famous Yorkshire sportsmen, Jeff Boycott and Fred Truman, both legends in cricket.
Well, basically, that's because we know the Yorkshiremen. Because back in the day, you had to be a Yorkshireman to be able to play cricket for Yorkshire.
Correct.
You know, if you weren't born in Yorkshire, you couldn't bloody play the cricket.
The same rules as the England team playing for England. Anyway,
well,
yes, they were both famous Yorkshiremen.
No, I'm gonna knock you back a bit there, Bobby, because I don't believe that statement is correct.
Right.
Because you've only got to be to play for England. You've only got to be able to prove that you've got ancestry.
Right.
English ancestry. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, Darren Goff, another one from Yorkshire, eh?
Yeah, he was I like.
Now then, let me finish. You ain't stopped.
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
Now then, they're both from Yorkshire. Fred Truman from Barnsley and Jeff Boycott from Wakefield. Now then, they fell out. They didn't get on. They never got on, them two guys. And you remember Fred Truman? He used to have a pipe, didn't he? You remember? I'm talking to you.
Sorry, you told me to shut my face.
He used to have a pipe, didn't he?
He did, right. Yeah.
And he used to comment on darts on telly. Remember that one?
I do, yeah.
Right. Well, they didn't get on because Geoffrey Boycott thought that Fred Truman showed the bad side to Yorkshire people. We're not all stubborn and as like he was. It does remind me. You do remind me of Fred Truman, Paul. And anyway, they're both stubborn and they won't make up. And for the rest of his life, Fred Truman would only call Jeff Boycott the man from Wakefield. When somebody put it to him, he'd say, "Who do you mean, the man from Wakefield?" He would not say his name. He was one stubborn Yorkshireman with Fred Truman. But they were both great cricketers, along with Darren Goff. Darren Goff was a great cricketer.
He was good with
Yorkshire. You don't hear out of him now, do you? You know, they don't do commentating or anything, do they?
No, you see both of them on, what's his name, don't you? Did both of them come up in the message, in the question? Was his name mentioned? Both?
No.
I don't know where he's come from. Anyway, I'll forget that one.
Anyway. No, somebody said it in chat, Darren Goff.
Oh, right, yeah. I was on about both of them. Anyway, Lazy Days. If you want to listen to Cheg's tunes, they're on his channel. And they're also on my channel, Cheg's Grandad. If you want to listen to his tunes from the past, get on there. There's some cracking music and there's some banging hits.
Well,
there you go.
You're right. The real Your Nightmare he says his mother said Truman was a foul-mouthed mannered. Yeah, a lot of people thought that of Truman because he was plain speaking.
Yeah.
And you can understand. And Jeff Boycott had a strong Yorkshire accent, but he was a bit of a funny beggar with Boycott by all accounts. But it is what it is. We are what we are. Yorkshire's a strange place for strange folk.
You know, we're full of strange folk, aren't we? That's the thing. We're full of strange folk.
What you say is there's no wrong with being not right as long as you're not right in right way.
Yeah, that's it. You got it right there.
Now then, oh, now we can say that in chat.
I can't say it in English. So, well, I couldn't say it in any kind of language.
Right. What's the more?
Lazy days. That's really nice. Thank you. Well, I'll stick to. Oh God, my thing's on stop again.
So
yeah,
I've been watching the football this week. I know you're not really impressed with it, are you?
No, it's like watching fucking lettuce grow.
It has been boring, hasn't it, with the likes of England?
Well, it's not only England that's crap, is it? You know, I've watched the match this afternoon. Two top sides, and they managed to score one pigging goal.
Yeah,
two top sides.
It hasn't been quality football, has it?
No, it can only get better. It can't get bloody worse.
But I don't think England are going to be walking away with any trophies.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything.
They've been, they've sat back and they've just got through on skin of the teeth.
But they've got through. That's the point, isn't it?
Yes, on paper it looks all right, Paul.
People are saying, "Oh well, bloody hell, they're playing shit and blah blah blah. And they're never going to do this and they're never going to do that." Well, we did what we came to do up to press. We've done what we said we were going to do. We were going to top the group. We were going to get into the quarterfinals and win, and we've done both. So what is the problem? Just because we play shit,
yes,
doesn't make any difference, does it?
Not statistically, no. On paper, it looks good. I suppose it's a bit like saying that movie looks good. I've read up about it. Let's go see it. It's not. It's what it says it is, but it's not. It says it's what it says it is on can, but it's not entertaining.
Lazy days. Let's just get this thing out of the way, okay? Lazy days. Cheggs and every other inmate of the population of His Majesty's prison have access to telephones in the cells. He hasn't got one stuck up his backside, hidden in, creeped in, or whatever. It's there. He gets it given. Okay? And so, regarding his channel, any updates on his channel, that's up to me because I have access. So, there you go. So, if you don't want to, if all you've come on the channel to do is talk about Cheggs, well, you're on the wrong bloody channel. Okay? Go to another one. Or even better, go to the one on Sunday nights where we talk to him. All right. So, sorry, Bobby. We'll get back to these two old geezers from Yorkshire. So, did you see the thumbnail I put up this week?
What the hell? What's happened to me?
Well, I put in and said, make them Vikings.
Bloody Vikings.
Well, I've got Viking heritage, so I thought, well, I do look a bit Vikingish on that one. Whereas yours just didn't come out quite right.
You needed to put in, for me, smart, smooth, sophisticated. That's what you needed to put in, not Viking.
Well, it was just something I put in anyway. So I thought it was quite good, but I'll change it next week. We'll get something else. I'm staying the Viking because I'm 50% Viking, so I'm staying.
You can tell, can't you? He tells it straight. As Bibby says in chat, I love it when Paul tells people off.
Yeah. Joe Biden for England manager there. Yeah, he's about right age.
Well, he's going down, isn't he? Big time. He's Joe Biden. He can't remember out. He's coming up to 80, isn't he?
Joe Biden. I think he's older than that.
Is
I
he?
think he's over 80. The other the fat orange kid, he's the one who's coming up to 80, isn't he? You know, that fat guy with the orange face.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming up to 80. What's the world coming to when we've got two fat, useless old people
Well, it's
running the countries?
that is it. It's the most powerful nation in the world. Is the US? Everybody deals with the US. You know, it's the biggest civilized Western country that's civilized.
You know, you have to say civilized with a little bit of a pinch of salt.
Oh, of course. But when you look
You
at
know,
like Russia and North Korea, they're civilized, aren't they?
well, yeah, but I mean, those across the pond are not the greatest, are they?
No,
You
no.
know what I mean?
But they consider us as little brother, don't they? And I don't like that.
You know, no, I don't. But, you know,
We are what we are. We're an island and we're independent. I'd like to think we were, you know. And we've got Viking and Saxon heritage. That's what we are.
Yeah.
Most of us have got some go back that way, don't we?
Well, I'm 59%
Yeah,
Viking.
yeah. And if you go back even further, it's African heritage.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
I was thinking of putting in for my Danish passport, quite honestly, so I can piss off.
Well, Bibby said that's the choice they've got. Look, the choice between a nutter and someone with dementia for president isn't a very good choice.
Well, you know,
not when they've got the finger on that button that could finish everything.
Anyway, but
well, that's politics, isn't it?
Let them get on with it, because you know France is going the same way, isn't it?
Well,
their thing last night was all far left and far right.
Yeah.
Well, before you know it, they'll be kicking the shit out of everybody and you know, talking shite.
And we've got an election on Thursday, and
well, you
know who's worth voting for? Where do you go? You know, it's you don't seem to have any choice.
Well, yeah, you do. You do have a choice.
Yeah, but it's not the best choice, is it?
No, it isn't. You've got three choices as far as I can see.
Well, yeah.
You've got Conservatives, you've got Labour, and you've got Take It or Leave It.
Well, yeah.
There you go.
This Reform UK is making a noise, aren't they?
Yeah, but I think, you know, Reform UK, I have time for Farage, but unfortunately, he gets stuck with dickheads, you know? And sorry, I was reading.
Yeah, you'll read that. I'll keep talking.
He gets stuck with dickheads, and of course, everybody's frightened to death of it. So they start making up fucking stories, and you know, people like us believe. But let's get off the politics shit, because I could talk all night about politics.
Yeah, there's no, like my father says, there's never an answer to religion and politics.
There isn't. That's
what he used to say, and it's true. It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're the biggest cause of wars. Both of them.
So if you just bear with me, you carry on, Bobby. I'm gonna just go into the back office and pull this video up, and then I'll show it. And
well, what it's going to stay? I'll tell him in character. He's going to walk down that hill behind him. He's going to go get a video, and he's coming back up it tram.
Yeah, and I'm going to put it into BCR thing and click play. Anyway, so let's go with it. It's a little video, and it's about 3 or 4 seconds long. It's not a long video, so
okay, mate. No worries. Played it.
I'm not sure. No, sorry, it's got sound on it, and I think you'll have to bear with me, because I'll have to go back in and see if I can turn the sound off, because I've got a sneaking idea that within the sound it says the answer. Okay.
Oh,
Anyway.
right.
So you carry on, and
Well prepared is Paul, isn't he? Anyway, listen.
And I'll see what I can find.
It's good to see you all again. I'm glad you've come back because more we see you, more we get to know Zul.
We do, yeah.
You know, and we can interact more. If Paul can walk off and then appear in your kitchen, that would be cool.
It would, but I can't walk that far.
He'd have to get a background of my kitchen. Maybe what we should have done is I should have put a similar one to you behind it, like we both sat at Seaside.
So the quiz will have to stop tonight.
Right. Well,
I can't get rid of the sound, and unfortunately, I'm fairly sure that the sound has already given the answer.
Right. Well, you can sort that out for next week.
Because for some silly reason, Queen Checks gives the answer, and I haven't even asked the question. So
I don't know what that lazy days is on about.
She's on about.
What's your favourite childhood meal? Right. Let me think. Well, in our house, we did a lot of jam and bread. I lived on jam and bread after school for years. I used to rush home from school and I didn't like staying in. So I used to say to my mum, what's for tea? She said, well, it ain't going to be ready for a bit. So she'd give me a slice of jam and bread. And I used to run out the door with jam and bread. And that was most of my childhood did that. But we had set meals in our house, you see. And my mum cooked a proper tea for us, and it was set times. And if I didn't come in, when I was told to come in, it was left for me, and I'd eat it. And if I didn't eat it all, you know, she used to save some and make me have it the day after. She were quite stern with my mum, you know, in her ways. What about you, Paul? Can't hear us, can I?
Yeah, I can. I was just deciding. Kelsey's on, isn't she? Yeah, I can see the spanner. Kelsey, for some unknown reason, I can't get this lazy days off, and I presume you can. So, if you've got the ability to get shut of lazy days, get shut down, because she's got right up my nose. Okay.
So the question is, Paul, what were your favourite meal as a kid?
My favourite meal as a kid, right? Farley's. Somebody's put Farley's. Get away with you. I like Farley's when my kids were growing up, but I don't.
They won't have had them when I was a kid.
No, we didn't have Farley's.
Steamed puddings. Ooh, that was there. They were nice.
We used to do cracking steamed pudding.
Put a cloth over the top.
Yeah. Used to boil it for about 3 weeks.
Mm.
You get it boiling. Yeah, great. I'm trying to think what my favourite. My mum used to work in during the summer anyway. She used to work in a what do you call them? A cafe in Bryn, near the seafront. And I used to go and meet her on a Sunday night at the bus stop and she used to bring home chips from where she worked. And I used to eat them all before I got home. But they were always cold, so I can eat, you know, cold chips. I love cold chips. Funny, isn't it? But before, I tell you what my favourite was in the morning before I went to school, when I did go to school. But in the morning before I went to school, my mum used to do me, she used to bake bread in the mornings. She used to bake her own bread. She used to get up early, bake bread anyway. So she used to do me bread with hot milk. And that was my breakfast.
Right.
And like three big spoons of sugar on top. So that was the breakfast before I went to school.
Freshly cooked bread and milk. I bet that were nice.
It was, yeah.
Well, my mum, you know, she was a war baby. She was born during war. And I remember her saying to me, she was 1 of 7. and she was brought up with my grandma because my granddad he was never there, but he was in the army all his life. And she said, her mum used to make tatty pies. Now, if you said somebody now, tatty pie, you mean meat and tatty pie.
Yeah.
Well, this was a tatty pie because that's all they could have. So she says, what her mum used to do was she'd boil a load of tatties up, put them in a pot, and she'd make a thick crust, and then she'd put a cup in the middle of the pot and pastry over it so it didn't sink.
Yeah.
Put it in oven, and then she'd make some gravy, an ox or whatever, and that was their dinner, just tatties and crust. Now, all my childhood life, my mum used to make pastry on a pie, and it was like bloody 2-inch, 3-inch deep.
Yeah,
it was like shortbread. It was, and that's why, because there's no brass. My mum, when she was a kid, there's no brass in the house because her mum brought them up with 7 kids on her own, and so she'd make tatty pie, but she'd make sure she made crust really thick, on top.
Yeah.
And he passed it down. My mum automatically, I mean, she used to get more than tatties in hours, but automatically, every time she made a pie, it was always thick crust, and it's things you pick up into it as you go through life.
My mum used to do a meat potato pie, and my sister, who's in her 60s now, I think, my sister does meat potato pie, and it's like eating my mum's meat potato pie.
But yeah,
amazing.
It's passed on, isn't it?
Yeah, it is amazing. But let me just ask a question. When you said did you say your mother was born during the war? Do you mean the First World War?
Oh, Second World War.
Second?
Yeah, 1939.
Oh, the beginning.
Yes, beginning of the Second World War. She was a war baby. She was on it. Every time my granddad come home from army, there was another baby. And then he was off again.
Aye. Yeah, sorry. Well, mine was born First World War. So, spiky. I don't like. I like whiskey occasionally. I don't drink nowadays, because I've seen what drink does for people. So I don't do it.
You're right there, PP. Our hard is completely different. Our world, I think, is in to the hardship. Our hard is completely different to the hardship of nowadays. Yet no one complained when I grew up. Everything was appreciated.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But because you didn't get it, it wasn't sat there waiting for you to earn it or you to get it, or it was something special.
Half the time, you didn't know anything any different.
Oh. Well, whatever you were getting, whatever I got, the kids down the street got same usually.
Yeah.
So it were regular. We were laking out in summer or at school holidays. Playing out, that is to people who don't understand laking. We were laking out at school holidays, and I might have my bloody dinner at my mate's house, and my mate might have his tea at ours.
Yeah.
They didn't hesitate sharing. Everybody got along, didn't they? And I know it's been said a million times, but it's true. Doors were not locked like they are today.
Well, we were, everybody was an uncle and an auntie.
Yes.
Oh, I'm just going to Uncle Alan's across the road. They weren't your bloody uncle, really. But, they were.
Oh, no, it was just a good friend.
Uncle. Yeah.
Family friend. And you looked out for each other. You certainly did. What's that baby says? I think people being shown other people's amazing lives online has made everyone too jealous now. There's a lot of competition today, you see. And the problem is, something can be spread so quickly.
It can, yeah.
I've said this before. Listen, when I was growing up, there was no internet. You'd hardly got a telly, but telly didn't matter because it didn't start till 4 o'clock in the afternoon anyway. And it shut down at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock when you had to stand up for Queen.
Aye, those were the days.
But now there's that much for them to do in their house. They don't live. And communication is absolutely ridiculous now. We only knew what we heard on radio, on newspapers, or sometimes telly. That was the news, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So very rarely did we get world news as such. We'd hear about it, but you didn't. It weren't like it is now. Like now, there could be somebody sat in our chat now from Australia. You know, it's a different world, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is. You're not wrong. And well, I'm lost for words, quite honestly. And I don't.
Well, I used to do that, Black Queen. We were allowed to play out till lights came on. Then we knew it was home time. Well, that's it.
Yeah,
You didn't need a watch.
Right.
You didn't need a watch because either lights come on, we better go, and if you didn't, you could hear your mum shouting 3 streets down.
Yeah, you could.
You know.
Good.
It's
you're not wrong.
Chips in newspapers, Clary. Yeah.
Oh, chips in newspapers.
Yeah, chips in newspapers with plenty of salt and vinegar. It was
scraps.
Scraps. Well, it depends where you come from.
Everywhere. That's the thing, isn't it?
Some call them bits now, don't they?
I don't know, but
yeah.
You know, when I went up for when I went up for fish and chips, I always used to make sure I got scraps because then you got quite a lot for your money.
Well, I couldn't afford chips. Me and my sister, I used to go in and say, "Can I have a bag of scraps for the dog?"
Right.
I didn't have a dog.
Yeah, but it's it's a bit like yeah, it's all those things. Really.
And we all share these memories. Clary's putting a few down. Look, we only went home from the park if we were hungry or needed a piddle. We were all there, and people forget these times. And that's one look. PP, came about wartime shortly. Short past pasty, evaporated milk as a carnation and sugar. You know, every time I went to my grandma's house, she used to make us a cup of tea with evaporated milk. Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. But we daren't say no. We didn't say no because I'd get braid off me mum if I said I turned a cup of tea down for my grandma.
Well, I was in where was I? Singapore, and the I don't know what you call them, the Adobe wallets and all those kind of people who made the teas and things. They always used to make tea with evaporated milk. Always.
Right.
And no such thing as normal milk, if you know what I mean. It was, but it was never used. It was always evaporated milk.
Yeah.
So,
it were picked up apparently over here were the reason after the war because a tin of evaporated milk wouldn't go off and it could last you a couple of weeks, whereas milk could be off in a couple of days. Although we didn't have a fridge, we had a larder.
Yeah.
And everything was kept in larder. Which anybody who don't know what a larder is, it's usually a cold room on extension onto your kitchen. That's basically 3-inch of bloody stone, solid. Usually, ours used to have a concrete bloody bench in it, and my mum used to put all the cold meats and all, when we had meat. But she used to put anything that needed chilling into there. And in summer, she used to put a couple of buckets of water in, and she'd put milk in water because sunshine. Yeah. So there were no fridges. It's all convenient. I mean, what we're doing, Paul, is what as own parents did, and that's say you don't know how lucky you are today, and you find yourself saying same, don't you?
I do, yeah.
It's the same with music. When you were younger, Paul, when you're in your 20s, you have your favourite kind of music, your favourite artists, and your parents would say, "All sounds bloody same." Well, we said same now. You listen now, and I go, "It all sounds same." History repeats itself, doesn't it?
Yeah. Camp coffee.
I never had camp coffee.
I like camp coffee. Now,
yeah, it's got a big reputation. Tell me about camp coffee. It was thick stuff, wasn't it?
It comes in that funny jar, and the thing with camp coffee is it's not coffee.
Right.
I don't think it's ever seen a coffee bean.
Well, this
But,
after war that I think it was around that time that he got its name.
Well, I've got my mum's Christmas cake recipe, and in her Christmas cake recipe, the secret ingredient was camp coffee. You know, and you think, what's that all about? It is. It's nice. So it's cracking.
It doesn't look appealing though. It looks like treacle.
Yeah, just bear with me 1 second. Unfortunately, I need to go and use the establishment's.
Okay. Black Queen, dripping, beef dripping. Wow. On bread, on uncut bread, beef dripping. It was gorgeous. Put a little bit of salt on it. Yeah, I never tried PP. I never tried camp coffee. No, I wouldn't have thought it tastes nice, but it doesn't look right nice, does it? It doesn't look appealing. Excuse me, folks. Well, are we all? I mean, I shouldn't be talking tripe. Or I was just going to talk about politics and about Thursday who's going, but tripe, yeah, that was another one. It used to, and you know, back in the day, it were all everything was fresh, wasn't it? Very little stuff were frozen because nobody had fridges, so everything was fresh. Or he kept it on, like, you know, tripe or fish if you could afford it. You'd keep it on ice, you know, have it in a bucket or something. You know, but it's just a different world. It's better, don't get me wrong. Camp coffee, great for flavouring cakes and homemade ice cream.
It is. It is. It's cracking.
Right.
What it was, I just went into the kitchen because I have a thing of camp coffee somewhere. Well, I couldn't find it, so I gave up.
Night, mini Scotch eggs going night. Mini Scotch egg.
Yeah, good night, darling. Take care.
But it's all part of your childhood, you're growing up. You know, I mentioned to you the other day, I mean, some of these might remember it. In 1970, standpipes, when we had water shortage.
Yeah, standpipes.
If anybody remembers that.
There you go. That's the word I was trying to think of.
Hickory. It's like a substitute, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. A bit like God, it's gone. Sorry. My mind's blank.
Yeah, standpipes. What happened in 1970s? It was back in the 1970s, wasn't it? Well, about 1975 onwards, as I said, they had issues with water, with heat. We had some really hot summers, didn't we? And I mean hot summers, and with a problem with water supplies, with reservoirs drying up. So, not like today where they can transport water and fill them up. So we had to. All his water were off, and we'd have a standpipe in the street. You remember it, Paul?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you have to go down with a bucket.
That's right. My mum used to send me with a bucket, or my sister. My sister more than me. She was older than me, so she used to send her. And she'd come back with a bucket of water, and there'd be about 6 or 7 all queuing up, nattering, bloody gossiping.
Yeah.
And all neighbours be there. And I remember that well. And I remember electricity strikes where we got blackouts.
Yeah.
Remember them?
See, 3 days a week you had to sit with candles.
Well, you know what my wife's father told me he did. Well, my wife told me. Her father says he was looking after Baines because his wife was working late. Because women, you know, they work all hours sometimes. Well, they did back there. She was working late.
Some still do.
Anyway, they tell them that, oh, right, we're going to have a power strike, and it's going to be from 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock onwards, and it were getting dark early then. So he says, "All right, I'll prepare it for kids. We'll get some games out and light some candles." So what did he do? He got record player out, set it all up. Hey, it went off, didn't it, power? He got all, it looked really, she says it looked really cozy with candles and everything. And we said, "What are you doing? We can't listen to music."
Oh, well, we'll have to make our own.
Yeah.
I remember those days where you know, the factories used to get the power and we used to get knackle.
Right.
And I think it was 3 days a week you was without power.
Yeah, it were a big strike, wasn't it?
Took it in turns though, didn't we? That was the thing.
Oh yes. Noxie, I can remember a man I can put these on, look, I forget. I can remember a man used to come to my nana's house and sell TV stamps. I don't remember what's that about.
Yeah, I think I've got an idea, but I might be wrong, so I'm not going to say. But you know, everybody came to the house, didn't they? You know, selling stuff.
Well, you used to rent TVs, didn't you?
Yeah. Put
radio rental.
Shilling. Yeah, radio rentals. Put a shilling in the TV.
In Granada, that was another company.
Well, it was radio rentals, I think, where I was from. Granada was more middle of the country, weren't they?
Yeah,
I think so. Anyway, but
Black Queen. My granddad passed away last year, 96. Good old age is that, and my mum still went to butchers for his dripping. That's a lovely tradition. That Black Queen.
Know, I like bread and dripping. I think it's really, really nice.
Yeah.
But you know, it's an old thing, isn't it? You know,
yeah. Well, they still put it on in our pub, you know, on a Friday for lads.
And so they should, quite honestly. But you know, I think the younger ones won't appreciate bread and
no. Now this one I used to see around when I was a kid, but I'd never used it. What's that all about? No toothpaste, only powder in a tin.
I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, I'd seen it. It used to be like a boot polish tin type thing. Yeah.
Isn't that black?
No, it's a tinny tin. Tin.
All right. Okay.
Tin.
My a bit like my first father-in-law.
Right.
He used to clean his teeth with coil.
With what?
Coil.
Why is that then?
I don't know, but he did, and it it worked anyway. And every Friday night we used to go, when I used to go up to his place just outside Doncaster, and he used to be a big working men's club man, you know.
Right.
And every Friday night, on the way out the door, he would put his fingers into the dripping, the fish pan, you know, the chip pan.
Aye.
And put it through his hair.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
I used to think, well, what's he on?
You can still buy them blocks of lard.
You can, yeah. But there's a difference between lard and dripping.
Oh, dripping, yeah, dripping's you get it from bullshit dripping. You know,
it's
called mucky fat. Mucky fat,
yeah, because it's beef. You know, you roast your beef, and if the beef's got a nice piece of fat on the top of it, when you roast the beef, the fat melts and it makes the dripping.
And it's beautiful. A little bit of sugar, a bit on nice uncut bread, and nice. a bit of salt on it. It's lovely.
Yeah. It's great. I love it.
It won't
I don't get much of it now, but I love it.
But it won't be politically correct today. It'll be bad for you. It can kill you.
Yeah, well, it'll be against self-pissing safety for some reason. I don't know.
Green Shield stamps. That's another one I remember. My mum used to have Green Shield stamp books, filling them up all the time. Yeah.
Woods pools. Yeah, there's another one. Remember doing the pools?
Oh, yeah.
Put it on a week. Well, we didn't do them on a weekend. We used to check them on the weekend. We did them midweek, and we used to sit there and.
So you used to pick pools and spot the ball. Remember spot the ball?
Oh, spot the bloody ball! I could never get that. That was Used to be one in one of the big papers.
Well, I remember both. I always think of both of them at the same time because he used to come round. There used to be a fella come round to straight around our way, and he'd knock on doors and he'd do pulls and he'd do spot the ball and they'd all
Yeah,
put in.
yeah,
And, every week
yeah.
they'd have a. But that,
Because
to be honest, for a lot of people, that were part of their weekly entertainment, something to look forward to.
it was, yeah.
What's Noxie saying? Let's have a look. Baby, I am one of 23 cousins. Bloody hell, 23 cousins, and used to fight all of them to take the empty pop bottles back to the shop because you used to get 10p back for an empty bottle.
You didn't
Yeah,
get 10p back in my day. It was,
no, he didn't remind.
It was either a penny or an halfpenny.
Well, it buggered it up for us when Popman started coming round. I don't know if you had them round there, fella.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
He used to come round and he used to come round with his wagon. It was like a big bloody truck type wagon, a big flatbed, and he'd have all pops crates on back and dandelion and burdock and all sorts. And he'd come round on a Friday just before Milkman.
Maybe is somebody typing for you, because I've not seen those kind of words come from your typing before. I hope it's not me wearing off onto people, starting to use words like that. Halfpenny for 2 sweets, yeah. Used to get 4 black shacks. You used to get 4 blackjacks for a penny.
Yeah.
But you could get 1 blackjack for a farthing.
Yeah. Well, we used to have penny tray with sweets.
Yeah.
Every kid under 5 used to walk around with black teeth and black mouth.
Yeah.
They get on them licorice.
That was it, yeah, the licorice stuff, yeah.
Spanish. And then there were them licorice sticks. I never liked them. Did you?
No, I didn't like licorice sticks.
No, that were natural licorice, wasn't it?
Maybe you don't have to apologise, because I do it all the time. All the time. You must have heard me. I can't hold back. I must say it once or twice every week.
What is he swearing?
Swearing. I haven't swore. No, I'm saying.
No, baby swear. Baby, you're lucky granddad saw it. He don't mind. I don't like swearing. You know that, but it is what it is. It's what makes the world go round.
Licorice laces. There you go. Oh, there you
go. Licorice laces, yeah.
Licorice laces. Love them.
Blackjacks. Stick to your bloody teeth, them, didn't they?
Yeah. What were them other things you used to get? What were them? Sherbet dips. They were nice as well. That's not what I was thinking of. Love Arts.
Love Arts.
I
didn't like them.
Oh, I did.
My mum would get me a gobstopper now and again. You remember gobstoppers?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
The worst thing you could give a kid, because you're on a mission to crack it, aren't you?
Yeah.
And it's worst thing you could do.
Yeah, well, yeah. We've all these things that are no good for us, and I'm still open about.
Oh yes, yeah. I think it's a shame people can't experience these things now. It's not.
Black Queen twin tub washing. You were lucky, darling, having a
twin tub.
I can tell you, we didn't.
When we had
out in the backyard,
we had
the bloody thing.
We had a twin tub, and my mum used to sit me and my sister on top of it when it was spinning, because it used to walk across bloody room.
Yeah, used to leg it. Yeah.
And she used to have to put pipe outside, air pipe. Let's all eat that. She put it through window.
Yeah. Oh God.
And I knew when it was bloody wash day, because it stunk of bloody washing powder.
It did, didn't
it? And it's not a nasty smell, but I don't know. It's just one you never get. You never get stuff.
There's a word from the past, isn't it? Mangles.
Mangle.
A mangle. Yeah. I've had my fingers caught in them more than one occasion. And got a clip lug for it.
We always, I don't know why, but we always had ours in cellar.
Oh no, my mum used to get me eldest brother carries out I was outside. So
But a lot of those that they were cast iron, weren't they? They were heavy.
yeah, they were bloody everything.
Yeah. But we used to have ours in a cellar, and my mum used to have it in a tin bath.
Yeah.
And we never used tin bath, but it had been used before. But it was so that when you turned it, not water come out, it just went straight into the bath.
It did, yeah. And then you'd have a bath.
But then then my dad come in and she'd say empty bath for us.
Yeah, well, it's all right having brothers, isn't it? But back in the day, I used to be fourth with the bath. Eldest brother was first, so he got the hot bath.
Aye.
And then he got out. Next brother got in, and his was fairly hot. He got out. Next brother got in, and his was warm. And he got out, and I got in, and mine was bleeding cold.
I just have to follow my sister, so we're all right.
Yeah,
but
that's all right.
When I got a bit older, because me and my sister looked after each other a lot of times, because it would never happen today, but we were left to look after a son. My sister used to get me up for school and make me breakfast and see me off, because my mum and dad were out working from an early time, early morning.
Yeah.
And same with holidays, so which we were in charge of each other's. Well, she were in charge of me. She was 4 years older than me, but she used to let her wash me, scrub my knees when I were in. When you lake out in summer and your knees were always black. And she'd sit me in sink, on draining board with feet in sink, did me sister, and she used to scrub my bloody knees like buggery. Yeah. So it's just the world we lived in, isn't it? And it's grand memories, but at the time it wasn't that easy, was it?
No. So Clary had a pantry, and Black Queen had a larder. Well, they're both the same things, really.
Pantry, larder.
Pantry, larder. I think it's just where you come from.
Well, I think pantry originates from America. Yeah, it's an American word, but most folk called them larders.
And Black Queen, you're right. The whole street closed the curtains when there was a funeral on the street. You're not wrong. Because, it was all part of the respect. When I was young, and in my younger days, I used to occasionally wear a hat. Sometimes it was a black hat, sometimes it wasn't. I used to wear a hat, but if I was walking through town, and that there was a funeral coming by, I would stop at the side of the road and take off my hat and bow my head.
Out of respect.
Because out of respect, basically. You don't see any of that now.
No.
They just carry on with the pissing lives. Oh look, there's another old bugger just going up to get burnt or whatever. Yeah.
Well, when my dad told me, I never met his mum, my grandma, because she died when my dad was 50. When my dad
I'm not laughing at what you're saying, Bobby. Sorry.
She died when my dad was 13 years old, so he was still a kid when my grandmother died, and so it'll have been about 1945, something like that, maybe. Yeah, around about that time. My dad would have been 13, and something, they put her in a coffin in front of the window at back of house for 3 days. She was laid there, and every time he went past her, he had to give her a kiss on forehead.
Yeah,
and he was 13 years old.
Yeah,
but
that's how it was.
It's how it was. Now they wouldn't even allow that to happen now, would they?
No, bloody hell, what the hell?
But it was all about respect. As I said, it wasn't easy for him and his sister,
anyway,
having to do that every time they went in and out of the house. But it taught respect. It's like, it's a different level. Yeah.
I just want Clary to clarify something. Clary to clarify. Clary, can you clarify your statement, please, where you said, let me just find it. There it is. We had a cat that used to shit in the coal shed. My dad went mental when he didn't notice and put it on the fire. Laugh out loud. I presume you mean he put the shit on the fire and not the cat. Because, quite honestly, if it had been my brother, he'd have chucked the cat on the fire. Hated cats.
Well, I've got a story there for you. I used to know the local rat catcher, and he used to call himself novice rat catcher because he'd no qualification in it. He just had a little Jack Russell. But anybody had a rat in area, they'd get in touch with him, and he'd go down and say, "Oh, there's one in dustbin there." Like he'd sent dog in, and dog would check it to death, and he'd wrap it in paper and bring it home and throw it on fire.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
His wife never knew. He says if she knew, she'd have gone balmy. But it kept fire going for a bit longer, so it didn't matter, did it?
No.
Right.
No.
And he said, until one Friday, which were fish and chip night, once a week we were allowed fish and chips, he says. And we're all sat there with fish and chips round fire. And my dad comes in with a parcel, throws it on fire. What happens? Bloody tail went rigid and shot out. Rat's tail. It says there were bloody fish and chips all over the place.
I love it.
True story is that.
That one.
Harry Ellis, they called him. He had a shakes all his life. It was just some kind of condition. But he used to have a bike, and he'd bloody go down road on this iron push bike with shaking like buggery.
Yeah.
And dog used to run after him.
I'm slipping more and more down in my chair. Don't want that sort of. I think I'm ready for bed.
Well, Paul, we've come up to an hour again, mate.
Have we?
How fast is that?
Oh yeah, you know it's flown, Bobby, hasn't it?
It does. I enjoy these chats.
Anyway, what I'll do next week is I'll make sure I've got a proper quiz that doesn't give the pissing answer with it in the clip. So
we'll have a go with that.
I did have an idea for one, but anyway, I'll still. Just before we go, I'll show the video and then you can see it. And the answer's in the clip, I think. So you'll be able to know what the question is. Okay?
Well, we don't know. We don't know what question.
Yeah, so that was the clip. And the question was, this pub came into our lives, maybe not yours, but our lives, in 1972. Okay? Now, for some unknown reason, and it didn't come up in the clip, the answer, so I might have mistakenly told my daughter the answer to the question, if you see what I mean.
Right.
Because she's answered it.
Yeah.
And it was the original Woolpack.
Yes.
That was the original. No, it's not Eschol.
Is it not?
No, this is before Eschol. Eschol was 1975. When
was it?
Yeah. This was in. Was it Nidderdale or Anyway, this was further away from Yorkshire TV studios, and it used to take them 2 hours to get to it with the kit.
Queen Check says you're wrong there.
Wrong where?
She says, no, you didn't tell me. I just recognised it.
From what? Well, how could you fucking recognise it? You weren't even born.
Paul, don't be swearing.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, it didn't look like that. Oh, anyway, if she got it, she got it.
She's been to it, she says. Anyway.
In she might have been to the one at Esholt. I don't think she's been to this. But I don't know. Anyway, she might. I don't really care, but I'll have one next week where it'll be a bit harder. So that Falcon Inn was the Emmerdale,
the original
Woolpack Inn, which was aired, I think, round about March 1972. Was the first time it came on TV, and they used that location for 3 years. And there was 3 places within that little village that they used. They used the pub, they used the Smithy's place. What do you call them? Smithy's places.
Blacksmiths,
yeah. And they used
farm. Not farm.
No, farm wasn't in that village. Farm was well out.
Right.
And they used the farm nearly the whole time. It was the same farm.
Well, back in the 70s, it was called Emmerdale Farm.
It was, yeah. Used to
dropped the farm bit, didn't they?
Used to come on at lunchtime.
Yes.
Yeah, with Annie. She used to sit in the kitchen. Aye.
And what would her father called? Oh boy, Joe Sugden, not Joe Sugden.
No, Joe was one of the lads, wasn't it?
Yeah, remember.
Annie. I can't remember. I remember Annie because I can remember Annie sitting at the table.
Well, it's not. That's not for too far from me in Esholt. Now, Esholt was the second location they used.
It was, yeah.
Which is a beautiful little village.
You know where the third location is, don't you?
It's yes. Go on.
You know.
It's built at. Let me think. It's on an estate, isn't it?
You see that estate above your head?
Is it there?
That's where it is.
I didn't know it was here.
Yeah, Castle Howard. It's in their ground.
Right, but they've built
village.
A complete village, haven't they?
Yeah, they built the village.
Esholt's a lovely little village, and
it is.
I must admit, if I'd have been born and brought up in Esholt, I wouldn't have been happy with that lot moving in. You know, I wouldn't. But because country folk, you know. But it's not that far out of Leeds.
It isn't. I've been a couple of times to Esholt. There's a big hill as you go into it, isn't there?
That's right. It's main road. It's
you go straight up the main Bradfordy Road or whatever you call it.
Yeah, and then you just follow it down.
You follow that great big hill down into the village.
Yeah, and you're there.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times.
First thing you see
back in the day. I've never been to the first one, though.
No, I haven't.
Queen Teg said she's been to that one. I've never been to that one. So,
right.
There you go.
Right.
Anyway, are we going to finish, Bobby, or are we just going to talk
we've done a good hour and 10 minutes today.
Okay. So, anyway, people, are you going to start saying your nights and whatever?
Yes, I will. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. It's lovely. We couldn't do it without you guys because it's like having a friendly catch-up with everybody. It's nice. And if Paul can get his bloody finger out and sort it out, we'll have a quiz next week.
Well, I did get my finger out and sort it out. It's just that somebody knew the bloody answer.
And it happened to be your daughter.
Yeah.
She took it up for her dad.
She did, yeah. Anyway.
I'll say goodbye and let you take over, Paul. So thanks for coming, guys. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell in both Paul's channel and my channel, if you would.
Yeah.
Just to keep it, it'd be great and appreciated.
And if you're only watching in the background, just click on the subscribe.
Yes, if you would, please. And if you don't like it, give Paul to deal with.
If you don't want to listen to two old men talking shite for an hour and 10 minutes, don't bother watching. That's your answer. We're not here to anyway, we're not. Anyway, what I'd like to say is good night to anybody that's looking on my channel.
Right. Do you want to give some shout outs and I'll leave you to it? How's that?
Have I got any shout outs?
Yeah, you've got
Greg, Clary, Noxie, the real Your Nightmare, Tom, Bibby, good night, Clary, good night, Black Queen, did I say good night? PP, Hovis, what's that? PP, Hovis, are you talking about Fred there?
Right, guys.
I don't think I've missed any. Anyway,
so we'll see you all next Monday, same time, same place. You know, and wish me well, knowing Grandad and having to deal with him through the week.
Anyway, Bobby, just thought I'd mention, just before we get off, I'm coming your way
Yes.
on the 10th.
Oh, right. Not too far away, 10 days away.
Wednesday the 10th.
Week on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just remind folk, if you want to catch up with Paul on Sunday night, he usually does his updates regarding Jeg. So you can go across there on Sunday night. Same time, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
You can catch that one. Because what we want to do is keep that subject away from this subject.
We want this subject to be just this.
But you're very welcome to join either. Right, I'll say good night then, Paul. And I shall catch up with you soon.
And I shall say TTFN and hopefully speak to people next week.
Take care, everyone. Bye now.
Bye-bye.